What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. I was trying to get some Battery Man action, but the guy, I couldn't actually get the match. Anyways, so it looks like we have Strano Fu 98, 1076, and then we have Magic 333. If you've watched this channel for a while, you know that I love watching Magic Duel. Usually, I feel like he's kind of the person that put Reckless Frogs kind of like on the map. Now, it looks like Strano went first. He opened up with 4 back row, excuse me. One of them being Artifact Sanctum, and he brought out Muratek to pop Dante. Magic, on the other hand, must have went Tour Guide into one of the Burning Abyss monsters. I'm not sure exactly which one. He went Dante. Probably he used Artifact Sanctum on the summon of Dante. Dante triggers, and then that puts a Abyss monster back in your hand. And then the Abyss monster that hits the graveyard triggers as well. So, looks like it's Satellarknights with artifacts. All light everything. You know what's funny? I don't think, for some reason, I don't know why, but people are not playing Honest in the artifact Satellarknight variant. I don't know whether they think it's not important, but, it just seems weird to me. Like, you'd have a deck that's entirely light, and you wouldn't even consider Honest. So the normal summon gets hit with the normal summon gets met with Solemn Warning, and he's gonna try and activate Call of the Haunted. And he's gonna Phoenix when Wind Blasted, and that dude's gonna activate Graph. Because it doesn't really matter how these dudes hit the graveyard, they all trigger. As long as they do. And he summons out Sir. So, still doesn't have anything big enough to get over the Artifact Sanctum, or the Artifact Muratek. Not during his turn, anyway. Now, if it gets to Magic's turn and he still has all these monsters, then sure enough, he will. He activates yet another Phoenix when Wind Blast, using Surge effect. Oh, shnikes! And he's gonna spin Muratek on top. So, it's gonna be like 2 turns before he sees that damn Call of the Haunted. And then he triggers Surge effect. Okay, I was going to say, how are you getting Dante and Graph? So he's just getting Dante. He puts Dante in defense mode, Dante being a $27 card. I think the rest of them should be cheap, though. 20 cents, 65 cents, 32 cents. Okay. The rest of them are cheap, just Dante is expensive. I like the artwork of Dante too, by the way. It's really cool. Alright, so Strano Fu 80 or 98. He's in main phase 2. Advantage is slightly on Magic's favor. I would say Magic has a huge edge because he's going to be drawing the Muratek. Strano's drawing the Muratek, and like that's just a huge edge if you know your opponent's going to be drawing that. Basically, right now he can make Alucard. If Alucard dies, then you still get your effects. He's asking Magic what effects he activated. I think he's activated all of them during this turn. Let me see if Dante's once per turn as far as the adding cards to your hand. If this card is sent to the grave, nope, it's not once per turn. So, if Dante dies right now, which it was smart to get Dante and not another Burning Abyss because Dante's effect is guaranteed when it hits the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Burning Abyss card in your graveyard, accept this card, add it to your hand. So yeah, Dante's effect is pretty much guaranteed. And now I guess they're trying to figure out... that's what I thought. I thought that he was working on a Dark Hole. Maybe that was the only thing that kind of made sense. I believe that he's triggered all of those effects except Dante. So Dante is going to get Sir. The other 2 cannot trigger because they already triggered. But Dark Hole was the only thing that made any type of sense for him to be asking that question. Oh, okay, maybe there was another one that he didn't trigger. So he searches out Tour Guide. It must have been Graph. Alright, so play goes back to Magic. He gets his Tour Guide, which basically means he can go Alucard. Or he can go Dante. At this point, with your opponent drawing a Muratek, I don't even think it makes sense to try and reach for the advantage. I think it just makes sense to make Dante. He goes Tour Guide. He's going to try and activate the effect. Oh, never mind. She's met with Breakthrough skill. So I guess you just attack. I mean, there's no reason not to. Would I feed my Tour Guide to a D prison? You damn right I would. That wouldn't even be a question. Not to mention, if I had Burning Abyss monsters in my hand, I'd probably want my Tour Guide to die, so that I could special summon them and exceed with them. Burning Abyss, they better hope that Konami never releases any busted level 3s. Like, they better never release like another Zenmite, another like generic Zenmite or some shit like that. Because this art type will just get fucking bonkers. Oh, wow. He plays Supply Squad. Now, it is my personal belief with Supply Squad that it is a fantastic card. I just think that you have to run hand traps. I think you have to like maximize on them. Otherwise, you could be drawing too many cards that are monsters for your core theme, for your core art type, and then you're not really doing anything. So he summons, which one were you? He summons Seer, and Seer blows itself up. So he's going to draw. And he does. And then he gets Dante in attack mode. And Dante, again, is a floater, so... Like, I just think that this deck needs tons of inherent removal. Phoenix from One Blast seems good because it can trigger all of the Burning Abyss, but I'm trying to think what else. I would say D-Prisons, Evacs, stuff like that. Like, a lot of simplification removal. And you see that Magic attacks with Tour Guide and Dante for 1,000. I mean, he's not doing a lot of damage, but he's still getting it in. And Dante still can go to defense mode. And, I mean, it's... Think about this. You know, Strano is just now going to be drawing that Call of the Haunted. So, he's still a long ways out from actually being able to do anything. His clicking on Dante. Dante's effect turns it to defense after it attacks. If this card attacks, it is changed to defense position at the end of the battle phase. There it is. Right there in the text. Yep, Dante totally hits defense mode, so he says, fuck you 101, you ain't taking me. I will not go to the prom with you, ho. He sets that Call of the Haunted, presumably. So, I guess the one good thing if you're Magic is you know your opponent has Martech set right here. So, you can completely avoid it. You see he plays Allure of Darkness. Obviously wanting to get more... Wanting to get some type of more cards. He gets rid of, I believe that's Sarah? No, sorry, Scram. It's going to take me a little while before I can identify all the Burning Abyss monsters by their names and effects, even though I did videos on all of them. Oh, geez. He activates another Supply Squad. Now he's just like, I don't care what happens to my monsters. If they run into Satellarknights, whatever, buddy. So... I expect him to attack for what's it called? For 2K. This also means that, oh my god, he has 3 supply squads. One sec, gotta see what the chat says about this. I gotta see what the... How are they not getting hyped over that? That's fucking insane. I never thought I'd see 3 of these. Now it's gonna be just crazy if he has another Phoenix on Windblast, because I mean, you're talking about just... Like, he'll have all the cards in the world to be able to pay for that card. So, Tour Guide attacks. I'm expecting him at any point now to use Call of the Haunted for Deneb. Okay, he opts to take the attack. And he uses Deep Prison on Dante. Fair enough. That's a legit counter. I guess he's wanting to use Call of the Haunted during his turn. Fairy Wind seems pretty good against Magic. Although, do you really want to side Fairy Wind in against one card in Supply Squad? Because he probably is only playing just this continuous spell. Magic goes into main phase 2. And he decides to summon his Sir and activate its effect. And he's going to draw 3 cards. I think he's just looking for defense. And then he's going to be able to trigger Scram in the end phase, because Scram summoned itself and blew itself up too. Yeah, this is some shit, some sick shit. So yeah, he just went +3 off of the supply squads. I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't think about supply squad and burning abyss. The fact that they blow themselves up if you have any monster on board that ain't a burning abyss monster. You know what I mean? So counting on them to die, it seems pretty consistent to me. Like you can blow them up and all types of stuff. So you see that he's going to play Call of the Haunted, although you can't play Call of the Haunted for a monster in defense mode. It has to be in attack mode. He gets Deneb off of it. I mean, he can change it to defense mode, but Call of the Haunted says special summon in attack position. Let's read it and find it in the text. He gets Altair. And attack position. Special summon that target in attack position. I feel like they changed the text of this card. I guess it's because of the problem solving text. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they changed the text of it. I got some Feral Servant Call of the Haunted. I guarantee you they do not say activate by targeting one monster in the graveyard. They probably say select one card in the graveyard. But I guess they wanted people to know that the fucking card targets. The problem for Strano is, okay, I guess he's just going to summon his Altair, and he gets hit with Torrential. I don't understand why he summoned Altair. I really don't. Like, there was no plus in that. Like, I just would have waited or something. Because now Magic just do 3 cards and Strano scoops because he sees that Magic has a hand of 6 and he can't do anything. Honestly, I'm not really sure that there was a way out of that. No, he was trying to make Exiton Knight, yeah. Okay. Exiton Knight was the only way out. That's what I think. But if that was the case, I'm not even sure if I would have got Altair. I think I would have got the foolish guy, maybe. You know, if I was going to do it on my turn, I'd probably get the foolish guy because Altair's not going to make any advantage. Or I get the 1000 burn guy because, you know, he can do at least 1000 burn damage for my troubles, and then I still get to make my Exiton Knight play, so it's really all the same. Alright, Magic with a pretty dominating victory there. Strano's going to have to try and figure it out. Obviously, he'll need to answer the supply squad, because that card was just it was just giving him pluses for fucking days. And Phoenix on One Blast was crazy disruptive. I mean, he couldn't do anything. Everything he tried to do, Call of the Haunted, attack with Murotech, it was all met with, Phoenix on One Blast. Now, I've seen Burning Abyss, but the deck looks good. But I also know it as a deck very similar to Yang Zing and very similar to Shadow. Just a deck that absolutely dies to Soul Drain, because none of those cards, doesn't matter how they get to the graveyard, none of the Burning Abyss monsters trigger, including Dante, if you've got Soul Drain out. Macro, pretty much same thing. So, I feel like Macro and Burning Abyss, or Macro and Soul Drain are really important right now. Because I think Burning Abyss are all Earth, so there is no Earth Imprisoning Mirror. Now, if they were all like light or something, it'd be different, or dark. So this time, Strano gets that Deneb off. And probably going to search for Altair. And he does. I like the artwork on Altair a lot more than Deneb. Okay, maybe he didn't want Altair. Nope, looks like he didn't want that. He probably already has Altair in his hand. So maybe he might get the double summon guy, or he might get the alright, he gets the 1000 damage guy. I will say this, it probably is fucking crazy, this deck in Shockmaster. Like, I'll fully admit that. This deck with Shockmaster seems like fucking nuts. I mean, if you've got a Forbidden Lance and a Shockmaster, you just call monster effects and you just fuck everything up. Like, have fun, Shadows. Have fun dealing with that shit. Like, you're gonna have a bad day. And same thing with Mermill or Burning Abyss. You just call monster effects against Lightsworn, and it's just like, we can't win. We can't do anything. You know what I mean? And you get 3 turns of that shit too. So Shockmaster is not the easiest thing to just run over. 2200 attack, I believe he is. Either 22 or 23. And wow, Magic opened up with double supply squad and tour guide. Warning or bust. There it is, solemn warning. Alright, if you're Strano, try and kill him now. Try and do all the damage you possibly can while Magic currently has those negs. Okay, he's going for it. He plays the Artifact Sanctum. Strano will go +1. Magic will take a 1-for-1. He'll get rid of a supply squad. And if I'm him, torrential or no, I'm saying torrential or bust for Magic. I'm going to summon the 1000 guy. I'm going to do my 1000 damage. I'm attacking with everybody. And then depending on where I'm at, I might make Cowboy. No, I'm not going to make Cowboy. I would make Diamond Direwolf to pop Supply Squad before I make Cowboy. Okay. Phoenix and Windblast on Graph. So he wants to spin that guy to the top of the Mazic's deck. Or excuse me, Strano's deck. So obviously that Strano cannot exceed. Unless Strano has like a wiretap. If Strano has a wiretap, that'd be huge. He does not have a wiretap. It's going to activate Graph's effect. Graph's going to get a Burning Abyss monster, probably in defense mode. Let me make sure it can be attack or defense mode. Yeah, it says attack or defense. Now, Maratech can still get over that, but it just absorbs some of the damage that he would take. So Strano just went from a turn where maybe he could have done a ton of damage, you know, 21, 15, 14, 1000. You know, that's 39 just between the attacks here. 21 on top of 39. What are we looking at? 6K, you know what I mean? Plus 800 with Cowboy potentially. He could have done 6,800, and now it's like, can't do that much. So, looks like Strano does have the counter to the second supply squad and ignition, and he's looking in like he's in pretty good shape now. So he is going to attack with the Maratech. He didn't want to set off that supply squad. Want to keep Magic's options very limited. And you see now that you're seeing that when Magic can when Strano can actually disrupt the supply squads, it's a completely different game. He gets his tour guide. And again, we know what Strano's top card in his hand is. That obviously being the 1000 burn guy. So Magic has to protect his life points. If Strano has a Call of the Haunted somewhere down there, that's going to be huge. Okay, the Blind MST. To Breakthrough Skill. Breakthrough Skill obviously was looking to counter the tour guide play, which might have sealed Magic's fate, because if he had a tour guide negated at this point, I don't know how he's coming back. I mean, he'd have taken a mess of battle damage. He would have taken the 1000 because he probably would have summoned this guy as well. But now he's got a free tour guide, which leads me to believe that he can go Dante and he can capitalize, because Dante can simply attack over this. Your opponent's kind of dead drawing, unless he has Altair in his hand. Which actually, no way. He searched Altair, so Altair has to be in his hand. What the hell are we talking about? He searched Altair turn 1 with the Deneb. So you see the tour guide summon. Tour guide immediately grabs Scram. He goes into Dante. Dante detaches so that he can mill 3. Vanny's Emptiness, MST, Phoenix and Windblast. No good hits there. But he still can do some battle damage. He decides to attack Maratech. Doing 400 damage. Dante will now go to defense mode. And he sets 1 card. And I don't know what that card could be, honestly. During the end phase, he gets a Graft. Now, we know that Strano is going to be drawing the 1000 guy. I expect him to summon it and go into an Exceed. Maybe make Castle. Castle seems like a really good play there, because it can spin Dante and then you can just have a free shot at your opponent's life points. Although, yeah, you know what? It totally avoids Dante because Dante has to hit the graveyard for its effect to activate. So, I mean, that seems to me to be your best play. And we're going to see if Strano's going to take it. Maybe he won't. Maybe he will. He's looking at his graveyard. If you're thinking about Altera, you don't have any monsters to use it with. Okay, maybe he doesn't have Altera. So he just sets a card. I mean, I don't know why he didn't try to Exceed, though. Down comes Regeki Break on the face down. It's another breakthrough skill. And it's going to activate Scram is. Excuse me, Graph. I gotta learn these things' names. Graph gets Sir. And basically Magic is right back on the offensive. Now, I think I understand where Magic gets his removal from. It looks like he's playing 3 Phoenix on Windblast and 3 Regeki Breaks. Dante's going to trigger Beginning of the Ends, Fire Hand, MST. So, again, no good hits. I think he plays BLS in this deck, too, because Dante is light and the Burning... Wait, oh my god. I just realized earlier in the duel I called the Burning Abyss monsters Earth. I called them Earth. They're totally dark. They are totally dark. Yep. That's how they work with Tour Guide. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, so, yeah, that's how he runs BLS in the deck. So Dante can easily attack over, and looks like it's beatdown time. I wonder if he's going to just make... Wait, let's see if you can only control one Dante. Okay, that answers that question. Now I guess you can control multiple Dantes. So this time he gets lucky, and he ends up hitting a Sir, which is going to trigger. And then his Scram's going to trigger on top of that. And now he's just going beat down crazy. Because he has 2 25s, and he has a free Graft. And now Graft is going to trigger too. And now you're seeing that he's just going freaking level or rank 3 crazy. I've never seen any like explosive play like this. Now I wonder what he'll do from here. If he'll just attack or if he'll exceed using the Graph and the Scram. I don't think it's out of the realm to make a third Dante or to make Giga Brilliance. We could even see Engineer. Oh wow, he goes Acid Golem. He just wants, yeah, I guess he just fucking wants the damage. Acid Golem attacks. I guess he figures he'll attack with that in case there's like a potential Honest, which we all know that he doesn't have. He has the 1000 burn guy in his hand. He attacks for 25, and then he's going to attack for game. Unless somehow he can trigger that Murotech on field, which I don't believe that he can. He took 250, but needs to take 25. And that is GG. Burning Abyss just absolutely destroys Satellarknights in this matchup. Let's see if we can get some more interesting duels. Apparently Burning Abyss is legit. So he did have Altair in his hand. Don't know why he didn't summon it. I guess he figured that if he waited, he would have some type of counter or something like that. Either way, didn't really matter because, I mean, that was almost an OTK. You know, you're talking about 25, 5,000, 8,000 exactly. I mean, that's crazy. Thank you guys for watching as always.